What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. The New York Jets have informed Aaron Rodgers that they are not going to re-sign him. So the god-awful Aaron Rodgers Jets experiment is at an end. Now, it'll be interesting to me to see what if he just goes the full Brett Favre route, signs with the Vikings, beats out JJ McCarthy, and then ends up being awesome, right? Because remember, Brett Favre first played for the Jets, didn't do much, and then played for the Vikings and did awesome. Again, I don't think it'll happen, but we'll wait and see. But that's not what I want to talk about. I don't really care about Aaron Rodgers or the Jets, for that matter, unless the Jets want Derek Carr. And here's where it gets a bit interesting. If you Google Jets and Derek Carr, there's not a lot of recent articles, but there are a ton of articles talking about how Derek Carr was basically going to sign with the Jets 2 years ago before they ended up wanting Aaron Rodgers. And then he ends up in New Orleans. And what's funny is I think right now, actually, Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers is. Maybe Derek Carr do really well there. Give him their best chance to win. And you may be saying, but T-Bob, what's the point, right? Like, you're not actually going to get that much cap relief. It's all going to just be dead money. And this is true. But I've been thinking about it a lot. And I was in New Orleans all of last week and talking to people last week. I just don't know that I've ever seen anything like the relationship between a fan base and a player like Derek Carr and the Who Dat Nation. It's just toxic. It's just absolutely toxic. And it's toxic to a level that is not actually reflected in the level of play. I'm not saying Derek Carr's been great or good, but he has been okay. And yet, you would think that he's actively a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. That he's just hot garbage. I've just never seen anyone hate it as much, where the play is, again, you could say good, but I don't even think you need to go that far, because then people are like, what is all, and it doesn't matter. It's like, the stats don't reflect, and I understand all that. But like at a certain point, you have to see what the relationship is, and I don't know, man. I think you have to move on. Now, obviously, you're going to empower Kellen Moore when he's announced as head coach. You're going to empower him to make this decision. And I think there's real incentivization for Moore to keep Carr if he's trying to win as many games as possible next year. If that is the goal, then keeping Derek Carr is probably the answer. However, when he's hired, the front office is cognizant of what a complete mess they've made of everything. And so I think they tell him, as a way to entice him, hey, man, look, you're not going to be judged off those year one results. We're going to give you time. And in that context, doesn't it make all the sense to try to move Carr for whatever you can get? Play Rattler, see what you have, and probably lose a lot of games along the way. But in doing so, clean the crud, trim the fat, start to reset things. And then maybe set yourself up to draft a first-round quarterback for the first time in 50 years, which is absurd and mind-boggling. That is a stat, but it is. Like, it doesn't matter how well Derek Carr plays here. He's never going to be liked. What was one of the common refrains last week? Where is Derek Carr? Jameis Winston's out here charming the entire city. Tyrann Mathieu. Cam Jordan's riding around on a freaking moped at Radio Row for an hour straight. Where is Derek Carr? Probably at Chipotle. Not even in New Orleans. And so it just appears so clear that that relationship is over. And neither side really wants another year of it. So it's up to you, Kellen Moore, but I would say to really, really think about moving Carr for whatever you can get, eating the dead money, and it's a lot of dead money to eat, and maybe starting over for real this time. And sign Jameis.
Hear me out.
And sign
Trades backsies.
And yeah, just trade
Trades
back. Let's
backsies.
just go back. Let's just take it back a few years. Trade Carr, sign Jameis, heal the city. This is the way, Kellen. You have the opportunity to be the prince that was promised. Save us, Kellen Moore. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.